what happened there. It's a good thing my wife came out and told me I was locked up because I was talking and I didn't realize. I lost everybody. Hey, Smart Gamer, that last stream I did, it had 22,000 viewers and I got 44 subs out of it. Yes, somebody beat down. I don't know what happened there. I meant to ask you, how do you like that Venom bag you use? Yeah, technical difficulties. I pay a lot of money for my internet. All right. All right, where were we? Okay. It's your litigation. Is your litigation going good? Yes. I'm not going to say it's going good until they pay me. High Energy Ape, what's up, my man? Yeah, it's a very firm bag. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, man. The, the movie tie bag I have, the 160 pounder, it's it's a very firm bag, but it has a little bit of give to it. I notice that Venom bag is it's like hitting a wall. Yes, I don't know what happened there. I pay a lot of money for internet. Out here in the desert, they have a lot of it's I don't know 225 out here. Wrist wraps. Give me a second here. Let me dig through my little toy box. That's a dildo. Dead cat. Your mom's wig. Oh man. What are wrist wraps? Oh, you know what? I'll use these. So these are serious. Do any of you guys follow the channel, the Clarksville Barbell Club? Sebastian, what's up? He sent me these to use for powerlifting. And he participates in the sport of weightlifting. It's probably backwards on the phone, but Clarksville Barbell Club. You check his channel out. These, I use Iron Rebel wraps. And these are awesome, but they're too long. So a lot of guys, they're right good for the sport of weightlifting, and powerlifting are good too. But I don't need them that long. Damn, they do work though. Captain Savage, this dude's got soft hands. Yeah, your mom says she doesn't like it when they're rough. Soon Potan Pereira. Why would you have stopped weightlifting at a young age? I don't know who you're talking about. Let's arm wrestle. No. First of all, never arm wrestle with anyone that asks you to arm wrestle. And second of all, I don't want to touch you. Yes, powerlifter. One of the best. I'm actually ranked top of the world. I'm in the top 40 all time for all weight classes over 50. or no, over 40. I'm in the top 20 all time for my weight class, and if I can break into the, I think I'm ranked 17 for all federations, and I was ranked third for 220 last year for 49. And when I turned 50, I jumped into the number one spot, but I think I got beat or nudged out by somebody. And then this year I don't have a ranking because I got injured. So, recommended steroid cycle. No, don't do it. I'm 51 years old. When you get old and you're your shit stops working, go on test, and then of course maybe add a little extra pepper on top of it. But no, I'm not gonna recommend that somebody fucks their endocrine system up, especially for looks. Like if you don't have a good goal, if you're not like a competitive weightlifter or participating in sports or doing something where you're willing to like risk your life to achieve a goal, and which is insane if you think about it. But I am insane. Type of dude to jerk off in a protein shake. You've got a weird imagination, mechanic. In England they call that a soggy biscuit. Just, hey man, you're trolling for dick on YouTube. There's better places. Have you tried gas station boner pills? Every Marine has tried that once. Remember they used to sell ephedrine? What do they call those? Mini thins at gas stations? Trash can man. Good evening. They give you headaches. Do some push-ups and think about me. I am not going to do either of those. What are your views on immigration? It depends. Can I donate $25? I tell you what, if you're going to pay me, I'll take it gladly. I have no idea, honestly. Hello from Iceland. Hell yeah, man. Joe Snuffy. England will fine 100 pounds for done TLP. For some TLP. What's TLP? If you curse. Well, many things were awesome until we found out what they actually were. Most of those guys got hooked on meth. Chris, click on the little money thing. If you're serious, I don't even know. Like, I probably should know that. Oh, yeah, you got this little money thing here. You can show your support for Gen X Power, World's Strongest Marine. I got no pride. If you're going to send me money, I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to launch memberships here soon. I was talking to my wife about it. But what we're having a problem deciding is what will you get for those memberships that will be of value, and can I actually provide it? So that's the only reason why we haven't yet. So like lowest membership will be like $1.99. They'll give you access to a Discord server, which then is direct access to me in some capacity. But what levels? I'm not. Plus, I'm a professional. I used to be a professional illustrator, so I've designed some stuff. I draw my own T-shirt designs. Things of that nature. But I mean, I don't know. We haven't figured out like what you would be get. Because why would I pay you $6 a month? What are you gonna do for me? Is it private streams where it's members only? Like, what's some things you guys would like that you think I could actually realistically provide for you? Throw me some ideas out there. What would you be willing to pay for? And if it's to see me naked, that's gonna be the top tier membership. Well, Discord is just some sort of server where we can all talk that links to YouTube. Tight little creamy, little juicy, little peach cobbler, little Lake Erie, little pussy. Chris Baldez. If you're talking about my butthole, I guess. USMC 0311, Haywood Pitman. Hell yeah, Summer 5, brother. I was artillery, 0844. How did the stream go from 80 to 62? Nobody likes me? Watching some old asshole in his garage lift weights is not compelling? I don't know. I was going to ask for spicy pictures, never mind. Yeah, $6 a month, I want to see butt crack. No, man, my butt crack's worth more than $6 a month. I mean, maybe some foot pictures. I was 19 kilo. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Got some beds in the house. Dude, these wristbands suck. They're fucking, these are painful. Holy shit. They give you contrast. Oh, here's my other ones. There we go. Where, now, I don't mean they suck as in I would not recommend them. I think they're outstanding wrist straps. I would not recommend them for everyday training unless you need the support. Clarksville Barbell Club this is a quality product, let me tell you, but it is way overkill for what I'm doing. But some lifters like the big wraps. These are what I use. These are the John Heck Iron Rebel wraps. Way better, way more comfortable. I compete with these. Young Marines private checking in to see what you're all about. I wish I had a smart ass answer for that. No, Semper Fi, brother. I'm just showing that you can still get it done after the age of 50. Do you believe there's an anti-white agenda in the Western world? It's not that simple. So, how many of you guys have read Marx's work? Marx, Engels, possibly studied the revolutionary side of collectivism. And if you know the history and you know the literature, you will see that they couldn't use a class to divide us after World War II because the proletariat in our country, you would call them that, could support a family. I mean, you could work in a factory and retire and have a house and support a wife and kids and have a nice car. That was you weren't gonna have that proletariat uprising like the Soviets thought we would have. So they infected our universities and they used anything they could. You got race, gender. I mean, if you look at the LGBT flag and how it keeps expanding, they keep adding letters to it. Well, what do those letters really signify is not, I mean, they have a fucking gender for straight people. That's stupid. But it's not you. What it is you're joining it. If that's your admission to that religion, if you will, the ideology, they use immutable attributes like race, gender, whatever else they can divide us. And then you are not defined by your individuality. You're defined by whatever box you put in. So all white people are this, all black people are that, etc. So it's not that it's an anti-white agenda. It's an all-out attack on everything our society was built on. The Judeo-Christian principles of the Enlightenment, which led to things like English common law, things of that nature. That's all being attacked. Religion's being attacked. Christianity's being attacked. Anything our society was built on has to be obliterated. And that's the reason why you see, first it started with the statues in the South, which there was a good argument for that. But now they're removing Lincoln statues. Are you kidding me? And it's not a question of free speech because they don't believe in individuals. So there is no such thing as free speech because you're not an individual. You are a collective of that group. Don't get me on my soapbox. I'm trying to work out here. That was my second set, right? Legs like a cancer patient. Well, that sucks, Drizzle. I feel bad for you. You can see his labia in those shorts. Yeah, I know where your head's at. Looking's free, but touching will cost you. Your God isn't real. Committed suicide by Roman. Right on. Stop skipping legs. Dude, I squat 3 times my body weight, and I have to because your mom is fucking heavy. That woman, let me tell you what, it's like dead weight too. You gotta like dust her off with like some magnesium. uh, Sebastian, let's see what you look like. I bet you don't have a picture of yourself. Let's see. Let's go to Sebastian's channel. These are the people in your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. You shouldn't be talking shit about anybody. I bet you can't even squat my warm-up weight. Oh, Lord have mercy. Sebastian, don't talk shit about people when you look like that. That's laughable. That's called a camber bar. So it's got an additional 4-inch range of motion, so I can spread my pectorals out a little better. And then on the bottom there, I've got another 4 inches of dunnage. So I got a little slight incline, plus I'm going farther this way and up a little. Isaac, what's going on, brother? Personally, I'm pulling out the 12 gauge. For who? You keep the trolls like me at bay. You seem like a genuine dude. Yeah, no, I like to joke around with you guys, and you can't offend me. Like, I don't care. I mean, you can just look at my channel and know that I'm beyond any of them. Wait, how are you gonna make fun of somebody that outlifts you like more than 3 times what you could put up? And I'm talking about Sebastian personally. Maybe even more than that. Yeah, we like trolls here. They just have to be funny. I like that. Never give up. Always give 100%, unless it's blood. How much weight is on the bar? That's just 225. My beard squat, Sebastian's mom. Hell yeah, yeah. Eat macaroni chillin'. What's your 1-rep max? Well, I had bicep surgery, so I'm not sure. I'm just starting to work out again. But before surgery, I was hitting 410, right around there, 4.5, 410. I like Mike Mentzer, so I do high intensity, one set to failure, 3 working sets. But the one thing Mentzer got wrong is periodization. Where's my water here? So he was obviously Arthur Jones' shill. And Arthur Jones, who was the inventor of the Nautilus machines, was trying to use Mike Mentzer to prove, to sell his machines. So they came up with a system where you only did 1 set to failure, high intensity. Well, you're going to eventually run into plateaus with any system you use, and what really works better is something more akin to what Louis Simmons came up with. Although his training methodology was really suited for powerlifters who used multiply suits. So that doesn't really work for raw powerlifters. What I do is kind of a hybrid. I do what's called block periodization. So coming back, I'll do a conditioning block for 3 or 4 weeks, which is super high rep, moderate weight. And then that's about 3 weeks. And then I go into like a normal hypertrophy block, which is 6 to 8 weeks of something that looks like a Wendler 531 or whatever program you like. And then after that, we go into what's heavy. It's called heavyweight acclimation and peaking. And that's usually 3 or 4 weeks, and that's leading up to the competition. There's programmed weeks off in there, deloads. Now, if you're not a powerlifter, you don't have to do the last part. You can just keep cycling over and over again. But essentially, what really works with undulating periodization is it's linear, but the weights move in a curve. So one day you're heavy, 3-rep max. One day you're moderate, 5-rep max. You undulate up the line. Sometimes you have to take 1 step back to go 2 steps forward. So when you start hitting plateaus, you start getting injured, you start not being able to make any gains, that's when you want to back off and basically start over. But you're not starting over from the same point you started at. You are now above that. So you're going to go like this. And that you can keep training like that indefinitely. The guys you see that get hurt a lot are the guys that are always trying to push and they never take any time off whatsoever, or they don't change their methodology up. I do. So after I'm done powerlifting, I might take a month or two off, and that's the conditioning block when I'm coming back. And I'll do something different for a while. Shout out to PEDs. Fuck yeah, man. Better living through modern science. The dude that dried up spit on your lip is too much. Yeah. Hello, dearest Christina. I hope you're well. Edward, you come here and clean it for me. Bring your friends too. I got some landscaping I need you to do. Are you actually LGBT or is it stolen valor? Whatever pays the best, Billy. Ask my wife. She's my moderator. Thank you, Chris. Email. I'm very far away from you in this political spectrum. We probably don't coincide in any subject. I've listened to you. Here's the thing: is you don't have to agree with me. I don't care about that. As long as you argue in good faith, and like I don't choose my friends on whether or not they agree with me politically. Like my sister won't talk to me. She's a super progressive, and we don't have a relationship because her politics won't allow me in her life, and that's just stupid. I was very close with her growing up, and the only thing that happened to us is that I said I was conservative, and I don't even really consider myself a conservative. I'm more of like a libertarian anarchist, if you look at it. I believe in small government, no rulers. That doesn't mean no rules, but we live in a large society, a very large, diverse society. Now, I am vehemently anti-collectivist. I am anti-communist to my last drop of blood. Basically, if I had to pick a political ideology, it would be this. Your life is not my fault, and mine is none of your goddamn business. Somebody said to me, you don't need an AR-15 for hunting. I said, I don't have it for hunting. He goes, what do you need it for? And I go, I don't need it for anything. I fucking want one. Fuck off. Like, I don't need to justify anything to you. You know what I mean? But I could give you my stance on the Second Amendment, which I'm sure you could probably guess. But all that point being, at the end of the day, we actually need both sides. I don't think this country runs well unless it has both sides. If you look at a hierarchy, say, let's take plumbers. All the plumbers in the world, well, it follows the Pareto distribution. 80% of the plumbers, like 20% of the plumbers do 80% of the work. That Pareto distribution can almost be used on everything that has a hierarchy. 20% of basketball players score 80% of goals. And it might be 90-10, it might be 70-30, but it's going to follow that distribution. Well, the conservative hierarchy is based on meritocracy and competency, so the best man is going to be at the top. Unfortunately, that leaves a lot of people dispossessed at the bottom. The progressives, or the liberal, is going to champion, ideally, the dispossessed at the bottom of that hierarchy. So if any one group is left to their devices to run that hierarchy, you see what happens with capitalism when there's no checks and balances, and you obviously see what the fucking left devolves into, which is murdering half of their population. Cambodia, China, Russia, like pick one. Pick a place that communism has infested, and at least a third of the population has been murdered. Usually it's the people that disagree with them, but I digress. You gotta have both. You need to have the left and the right to balance each other. If I had my way, we wouldn't have a government. It'd be the Wild West. May the best man win. Yeah, you have to have a government. But so our government's not perfect, but nobody's done it better. We took the Enlightenment principles, English common law, and we evolved them to basically enshrine our rights in the Constitution, which does not grant permission. It basically says that our rights are ours by birth, and you don't have the right to fuck with them. Everybody thinks the Constitution grants you the privilege of having free speech, where it basically says free speech is your right, and the government's not allowed to do shit about it. So we read things differently. But the thing is that it takes responsibility too. So freedom isn't free. No, there's a hefty fucking fee. You can't have freedom without responsibility. And it's not safe either. You only deserve free speech if you max out on bench right now. I'm not going to max out. I'm trying to get some volume in. This is my third set here. And this bar is a little bit harder. I got a 4-inch incline and I got this 4-inch range of motion. So when you get at the bottom here, it's very difficult. That's my third set, right? Yeah, buddy. I'm gonna move the camera here. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. There. We'll get where we said. Shit, where the other color go? Dude. Now, since these handles are 4 inches higher than a regular deadlift bar, I'm going to put 4 inches of wood to even it out.